Hi. Today I wanted to talk about a term that we have in the Georgia contracts, and that term is due diligence. What is it? What do buyers need to know about it? What do sellers need to know about it? For those of you that I don't know, I am Allie Maddox with Compass, and let me start with what the definition of due diligence is. The definition of due diligence is reasonable steps taken by a person in order to satisfy a legal requirement, especially with buying and selling. So in the Georgia Association of Realtors contract, we have a section for due diligence, and we can negotiate the time that it is. It can be 7 days, it could be 10, it could be 14. Depends on sometimes the size of the house, the complexity of the things that need to be investigated. There's a lot of factors. But during that time period, if you are a buyer, this is the time that you want to find out what you're buying. You want to hire the home inspector. You want to look into getting a termite inspection, radon inspection, sewer scope. If the home has part of a homeowners association, you want to get those HOA budgets. You want to read the rules and regulations, which we call the conditions, covenants, and restrictions, to make sure that you're okay with the rules, that the budget looks good, that there's no red flags to you in that. And this is also when we negotiate the inspection items that you want to address. Now, if you're a buyer, this timeline is very important. I also want you going and checking out the neighborhood, checking it out on a Sunday morning as well as a Saturday night. As you're probably aware, things can get a little more rowdy on a weekend night than they can early morning hours. During this due diligence time, if you are a buyer, this is when, if you decide that this is not the home for you, you can terminate the contract and get your earnest money back. And let's say that we had negotiated 10 days. If you call me on day 12 of the contract and say, hey, Allie, decided I don't want this house anymore, you are not entitled to get your earnest money back for that. So it's a very important timeline to make sure that this home is meeting your needs. Now, on the flip side, as a seller, this is the time period that you want to make sure that if you are part of an HOA, that you have all of those documents ready to provide. The budgets, the rules and regulations, any information that a buyer needs to know going into this homeowners association. This is also a time that if a buyer comes to us with legitimate concerns about the systems, the structure of the home, any factor of the home that may need a repair, that we're going to be ready to get a contractor out there to quote us to repair it, to move forward on that. This is when I like to tell people that, remember, a contract is not a guarantee. So we need to be aware of what that due diligence period means to you. And this is also why it's important to continue to show your home while we are in that active under contract status. This can help us get buyers and in the backup position. So I just wanted to kind of explain again what due diligence meant, and what buyers and sellers need to know. If you have any specific questions, or if there's something you want me to re-clarify, feel free to reach out to me. I am always happy to answer your questions. So I hope everybody's having a good day, and I hope you found this to be good information.